Hi students, this is Vasudev Manda. Welcome to Master of English. Welcome to another class of English. पिले आम जो क्वेश्चन आंसर सीरीज सेकेंड ईयर नॉन डिटेल स्टडी चलचे मुझे सेकेंड चैप्टर दैट इज योर मिस्ट्री ऑफ द मिसिंग कैप. सो आज आम देखा टोटल क्वेश्चन आंसर टेक्स्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आंसर. द चैप्टर इज मिस्ट्री ऑफ द मिसिंग कैप. चैप्टर स्टार्ट करने पूर्व तुम जब नुआ देखुच जस्ट सब्सक्राइब द चैनल and press the all notification button that you can get all the notification. And if you like the story, the question answer, then you must like the video. Okay, so let us start. Okay, so the first question is like this. What impression of Sri Maharana do you get from the text? What impression of Sri Maharana? Maharana को विषय रे कौन धारणा तुम पाउछ टेक्स्ट रु? ओडिया में कह दे प्रथम कथा है महाराणा जने धनी लोक थे. महाराणा मिस्टर महाराणा वाज ए वेल टू डू पर्सन. ही हैज 2 funds with full of choice fish. He was a conscientious and generous person, and he was also a patriot who served the patriotic people, and also he has an intention to become a legislature, and he had the only Pakka house in the 20 villages, around 20 villages. That's all. Question number 2. Who is Babu Bir Kishore? How does the narrator describe him? Babu Bir Kishore was the the then fishery and finance minister of Odisha, and he was one of the Swadeshi minister after independence who had got ministries. And he belongs to the constituency of Mr. Maharana, means where Mr. Maharana's village was situated. And Mr. Maharana has conferred a ceremony, you can say reception, in order to give Mr. Maharana, Babu Bir Kishore, what invitation, and he has invited Babu Bir Kishore to attend that ceremony. Next, what idea of the narrator do you get from this unit of the text? What idea? Narrator को विषय कौन idea? And when the incident took place, at that time the narrator was a child, and Mr. Maharana was the neighbor of his uncle, and he was living in his uncle's house in the very village of Mr. Maharana. And here he wanted to express gratitude to both the great souls. He doesn't want to experience love. Okay, and he just wanted to share his feelings toward those 2 great souls. How does the narrator recount the preparation for the minister reception? Preparation for the minister reception. In order to felicitate Mr. Bir Kishore, Mr. Maharana arranged a big reception party, and he was the president himself. And what happens, for the first 15 last 15 days, the school children, they just recited or they learned the welcome song. The lady, they are interested to blow their conch, and there was a welcome song being written by the headmaster of the very school, who was not at all written any, not at all included in any cultural activities. Okay, and Mr. Maharana's ancestral chair was taken, where 2 bacons were being waved, having 2 big fish in their beaks. So these are the arrangements done for Babu Bir Kishore. Next question. Okay, this is your first unit think it out question. Second unit. Now let us see. How does the narrator describe the procession of the minister in the village? So the minister arrived in a jeep at the outskirts of the village, at the very ark. He was welcomed with Mr. Maharana and another people of his locality. He was profusely garlanded, and requested to re-enter the jeep, but Mr. Maharana told that he is a man of earth. And at that time, all the valid and invalid people all were watching, and they were, there were lots of applause and gasping was there, and everybody was, giving slogan Babir Kishore ki jai, Babir Kishore ki jai. Question number two: how did Sri Maharana entertain the guest? How did Sri Maharana entertain the guest? In order to entertain the guest, Mr. When the entourage of the minister arrived, first of all they were served tender coconut juice, and thereafter in lunch they were being served 20 different dishes with ghee baked rice, with 20 different dishes. Then, okay, unit three. Unit 3. How did the minister cap disappear? Mantriଙ୍କର topi କେମିତି ହଜିଲା? After taking his lunch, when the minister was, separated to his own cabin, which was just, facing at the backside of Mr. Maharana's house. When he was just sleeping, at that time, Jandu came like, a bolt from the blue, and he took that cap and disappeared. Next, how did the minister officials react to the disappearance of the cap? Uh, After listening the story of disappearance of minister's cap, the probationary officer told that Mr. Maharana, will not mind about the disappearance of the cap, but he will mind the way it disappeared. And another person they were taking that it was a conspiracy against the minister. These are the words. Then how did Sri Maharana feel about the loss of the cap? Mr. Maharana was just shaking. He was just shaking in fear and shame. He was just, sweating profusely that he might have been melt like an ice cream. And his interest toward the ceremony was in vain. And he was very nervous that after the minister woke up from his sleep, what he will tell, what will happen, etc. or there in his mind. How did Sivan, okay, how did he feel when he came to know the cause of the missing of the cap? As you know, Mr. Maharana was very nervous after knowing the matter of disappearance of minister's cap. And when the author himself told him that Jandu has taken the cap of the minister, he, uh, stood just dumbstruck. He has no words to tell, and he told the author that you mustn't tell these things to anyone, and I'll reward you later on. Next, what are the effect of disappearance of the cap on the ceremony? Uh, the disappearance of cap, foot, and wet blanket on the ceremony. No pomp and dignity was there. Nobody was, uh, concentrated towards the ceremony. Everybody was talking about the cap only. And even if the people who have come with the minister, they were also not interested to, entertain themselves. And everybody, whoever were present, they were only talking about the cap, disappearance of the cap. How did the narrator pals friends react? Narrator को बंधु माने किभଳି react कले? The narrator friends, they were talking with each other that the thief who was stolen the cap will be hanged on the banyan tree at the shore, at the bank of the river. Even if some of his friends told that already the tender bough of the banyan tree were already cut. And one of his friends also added that yes, all the people of his village will be put into jail. These are the different views of his pals. Okay. Next, how did the narrator describe the opening ceremony? How did the narrator describe the opening ceremony? Mr. Maharana, the stage was all set. Mr. Maharana and Babir Kishore came to the stage, And at that time, what happens, there was the welcome song, which was composed by the headmaster and being sung by the students of that primary school. And the ladies were blowing their corn shell, and the song was being sung in kirtan style. And the one and only matriculate students of that village, Mr. Maharaj Snaes, just garlanded the minister as, like the earliest Swayambara were being done. How did Mr. Maharana explain the reason behind the missing of the cap? Mr. Maharana, uh, as a very clever person, as a pure politician, told that the cap was not being taken by anybody, or it was not stolen at all, and it was being taken by one of the noble person of that locality in order to worship the cap as a symbol of sacredness. And he might have begged, but the minister, with his humility, would have not been given. That's why he has stolen. And in order to serve the country and the people, he had donated 100 kinds, 101 kinds towards ministerial fund, that it can be used for the benefit of the people. How did Mr. Maharana explain the reason behind the missing? Okay. What impression of Sri Maharana do we get from this unit of the test? Mr. Maharana was a cultured man. He just managed the situation like a well-to-do politician, like a voice politician. Okay, and the incident, so smoothly he narrates that nobody had idea that the cap was being stolen by a monkey, not by people. Nobody was able to understand, could understand that. So from this, it is very clear that he has a great presence of mind to manage any situation. Next question. Okay, let's see. Question: how did the minister find out the mystery of the missing cap? How did the minister? At the time of departure, the minister gulped what a liter of milk and just came out on the backside of Mr. Maharana's house, and he was just gargling. At the very moment, Maharana was there and Athar were there. Maharana and Athar were there, and the Jhandu, the notorious Jhandu, came with the cap. And after watching that cap, after seeing that cap, Bhavir Kishore questioned Mr. Marana, is he that nobleman? And Mr. Marana told, yes, this is the nobleman. And like this, Bhavir Kishore came to know about the disappearance of his cap. What role did Jandu play in this story? Did he bring an anticlimax to the story? Give your reasons. Jandu took away the minister's cape, and the ceremony uh, was in vain. Nobody was thinking about the ceremony. Everybody was thinking about the disappearance of cap only. And by that, Mr. Maharana and Babu Birkeshwar also, they were not getting anything. They were confused what to do and what not to do. Okay. And his imaginary story, Mr. Maharana's imaginary story, came to an end when Babu Virkishore just what discovered that cap from Jandu. And that means in this section it is very clear that a politician often tells lie. And really, a big thanks to Jandu that he, brought an anticlimax to the story. And from that day, Babu Virkishwar and Mr. Maharana were forgotten name in politics. I hope, yeah, that's all from the question and answer sector of Mystery of the Missing Cap. And if you have any doubt regarding that chapter, just comment me and I'll make the video. Okay, thank you for watching. Stay safe.